In this situation, ATC has directed you to report a beam bully. To create this reporting point, the Fix page can be used. First, enter the reference identifier into the box prompts. Your bearing and distance from bully is now shown. Next, select the beam prompt. Now displayed is the radial and distance from bully to the beam point along your flight path. Also displayed is the estimated time of arrival, the distance to go, and the computed altitude at the beam point. Note that the HSI has changed the reference waypoint symbol and has added a dashed green reference line representing the beam radial. To convert the beam data into a waypoint, first select it to the scratch pad. The scratch pad now displays the selected identifier along with the computed radial and distance to the beam point. Next, select the legs page. The beam data has now transferred to the legs page, and using the HSI for reference can be line selected into the proper route sequence. The new waypoint is labeled using the reference identifier and a number showing how many waypoints have been created on this route. After solving any discontinuities and verifying the modified route, it may be executed. Should a specific crossing radial other than the beam be requested, enter it into a scratch pad, then select it to the downtrack fix line. Data will now be displayed reflecting the entered radial. Now let's try another problem. In this situation, you are descending on the Swede 2 arrival to Cincinnati. Due to a thunderstorm activity ahead, ATC directs you to hold at Kafko. To set up a waypoint holding pattern in the FMS when no other hold is active, first select the hold key to display the hold at page. Next, enter the holding waypoint, COFCO, in the scratch pad, and then line select the hold at box prompts. This will display the modified hold page and the pattern for standard holding at COFCO. Both the HSI and the modified hold page depict data for a standard holding pattern, with right turns and 1.5 minute legs. The standard inbound course and target altitude are FMS computed figures from the legs page. The FMS also calculates a target speed, which is the best holding speed up to flight level 310, based on gross weight and other performance factors. Any non-standard holding instructions must be entered manually to update the modified hold page. For example, assume that your clearance includes non-standard holding instructions. To update the page with the clearance, enter each block of non-standard holding data in its respective line. For lesson purposes, we will update all appropriate data on this page first, before executing the modification. Starting on the left side of the page, when a new radial is entered, the quadrant and the inbound course will update automatically. To command left-hand turns, enter the letter L in the direction line. Whenever a leg distance is entered, it will override the previous leg time display. Now try a partial exercise. To update the right side of the page, first enter the new holding speed and altitude over the computed figures. Next, if desired, enter the expect further clearance time. When an EFC time is entered, the fix ETA will update and display a new estimated time of arrival at the holding fix following the EFC time. Finally, execute the modification to implement and display the new holding pattern. As technique, the execute key may be pressed when illuminated after each data field entry to prevent possible loss of all entries in the event of erasing an error. When displayed, the hold available line indicates the holding time available before affecting the destination fuel reserves entered on the performance page. Now try a complete exercise. After establishing a waypoint holding pattern, select the legs page and verify that there are 2 leg lines displayed for that particular waypoint. The first line shows the waypoint that you are flying to and its associated flight plan figures as previously computed. The second line displays the waypoint fix that you will be holding at and its associated figures as programmed on the hold page. Now let's look at present position holding. Let's assume that due to an en route weather, ATC directs you to hold at the aircraft's present position. To set up a present position holding pattern, first select the hold page, and then line select the present position prompt. This will display the modified hold page and the pattern for standard holding at a present position waypoint. In this example, waypoint 3. Changes to the standard data may be made, such as a new airspeed and the expect further clearance time. Then, when the modification is executed, the FMS will fix the active holding pattern at that point and command a turn into the pattern. Now for some words of wisdom concerning holding winds and LNAV. When arriving at a holding fix, if winds are excessive, consider disengaging LNAV and using the heading select mode to adjust the bank angle. Following entry, if it can be reasonably assured the displayed holding pattern will not exceed protected airspace, use of LNAV may be resumed. After entering holding, the exit hold prompt will be displayed. Any further modifications made to the holding pattern after entry will only become effective on the next crossing of the fix. Now try some questions. In this situation, due to weather, you are in holding at COFCO. After weather improvement, ATC clears you to exit holding and resume your flight plan route. You may exit a holding pattern by either of 2 methods. The first uses the exit hold function. To exit using this feature, after selecting the hold page, line select the Exit Hold prompt and observe that the line prompt changes to an Exit Armed label. When the modification is executed, the aircraft will immediately proceed back to the holding fix, terminate the pattern, and continue along the planned routing. The second method of exiting a holding pattern utilizes the direct intercept page and can be used whenever ATC clears you to another fix or leg directly from your position in holding. For example, you are holding at COFCO when ATC clears you to proceed present position direct to Falmouth, then flight plan route. After the direct intercept page is selected, properly modified, and then executed, the FMS will terminate the holding pattern and turn the aircraft to a course direct from your present position to Falmouth. In this situation, you are descending on the Swede 2 arrival and, under ATC direction, have established a holding pattern at Falmouth. ATC now clears you to cancel the hold at Falmouth and continue your flight plan route. Prior to the aircraft entering a holding pattern, you may cancel the hold by either of two methods. The first uses the waypoint bypass procedure. To begin, first select the legs page and notice the position of the holding fix line. Next, perform a waypoint bypass to remove the holding fix. In this case, line select Cincinnati over the Falmouth hold at line. Then, when the modification is executed, the holding pattern will cancel. The second method of canceling a holding pattern prior to the aircraft's entry is by use of the delete function. First, select the legs page and identify the holding fix line. Next, use the delete function to remove the hold at line. Then execute the modification and the holding pattern will cancel. Now let's try another exercise and a question.